True Faces Unmasked is a podcast of candid conversations that explore the intricate layers of our unique identities, worth, and value. I'm Lauren.
I'm Paige.
I'm Kim. Let's unmask. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Welcome back, you guys. So we've been some of our episodes have kind of been leading one into the other, and I think this one is no different. Today we're going to be talking about kind of shedding the old and embracing the new. And if you remember, we talked about transitions a couple episodes ago, and really being willing to go with the flow and know that there are transitions. They kind of never stop throughout life, but being willing to adapt and go with it. But I think this really plays well into that. Paige, do you want to kind of give us just the premise, the idea behind all of this?
Yes. So if you guys didn't notice or you aren't watching on video, I have bangs.
She has bangs.
I have bangs now.
She bangs.
I have bangs.
Instead of bangs, bangity bangs.
But,
Bang, bang, bang.
Really, on real talk, I do have bangs. That is a fact. But I'm glad that Kim tossed this over to me because I kind of thought of this idea when I walked in because I couldn't find a way to explain kind of how I was feeling and how I usually handle my transitional periods, which is like if, for example, my life feels boring or I feel bored, like I have always felt like I need to change my hair up. So usually that was going to get highlights done, and it was always very bright highlights. So that was enough for the longest time. And then it got to a point where I was sick of the just straight long hair. So I needed to chop it off, or I needed to cut my own hair at one point and just put that power within myself. And now doing that again, but going to the bangs. And that was a big thing for me because I'm a big believer in the Bible, it says multiples. So when you see multiples in 2s or 3s, no matter what it is, that's a way of the Lord trying to talk to you and trying to show you something. And it's so broad the way I'm explaining it because it could literally be the littlest thing as I've noticed bangs on people for months now. And finally, I had a mentor who cuts her own hair, and I see people compliment her all the time on her hair. And so I'm thinking to myself, okay, here are the multiples. The Lord's talking to me. How did you do it? And so she told me how she does it. And all I could say was I felt so confident in doing it. There was no reason to not do it. Yes, do I still get a little self-conscious now with this new do? Yes, but I needed to shed the old to embrace the new. So now that's kind of where we're at. That's where the idea spurred, was because I have bangs now, and I haven't had bangs since I was literally a toddler. My mom, I called her. I didn't call her. She called me because I sent her a picture of my bangs, and I knew she'd freak out. Sorry, Mom. But she calls me. She's like, "Are those real?" I was like, "Was that photoshopped?" And I was like, "No, Mom, they're real. Like, I'm good, but I'm not that good. And I'm not going to take the time to do that." But it was just funny because she was like, "I haven't seen you in bangs in forever." And I was like, "Yeah, because you were the one that did it last. And it was when I was a toddler." So now it's kind of cool, like, looking back now that was the power within me to kind of bring that playful side out again because I feel so boring and I feel like there's just been so much gloom and doom in my life. And so having that shed of the hair, I mean, it grows back. And so for so long, I would dread about, oh my God, my hair. And finally, it's just kind of like, now that I've had this power to cut my hair myself, it's so weird and such a little thing to think about. But now that I've had this power, I'm finally just like, it'll grow back. Like, it grows back so fast all the time. Like, I don't know, it's just a really cool transition and a way that I embrace my new self every time I go through transitional moments. And this one was pretty dramatic because obviously I have bangs now.
And so since you have taken on that empowering moment, how do you feel about yourself?
That's a good question. I honestly, in the moment, I felt amazing. All I can remember is because like both times, it's just like a surreal moment. But I remember I was just sitting there like doing what she told me to do. She told me to like lay them down, brush them out, and to do it dry. She said, cut them dry for anyone who may want to do it. Cut them dry. Apparently, if it's wet, it messes them up. And you just take them and you twist them and then start at the nose and then you just cut. And so then I just kept doing that. And as I was going, it was just cool because I had the vision of what I wanted it to look like and I got to create that. it's not on someone else. And then there's been so many times I've gotten my hair done. And again, it seems so dumb that it's hair, but it's a way that I've almost expressed myself, and I would like allowing other people to do my hair didn't allow me to express myself. Like there's still things I don't do. Like I'm not able to highlight my hair and stuff yet. I don't feel comfortable doing that. But the cutting of it, it was just really cool experience and empowering in the moment because I got to see what I wanted and I got to create that. Whether it was a little messed up or not, it's never perfect. It's hair, like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm so glad you asked that because I did feel empowered. Now, I do still get a little self-conscious now, but I still feel like I look at myself in the mirror and I can tell like it's different, but I'm different and I wanted this to be different. So it's almost reassuring too now. So there's my story.
I mean, even in scripture, it talks about long hair being a woman's glory. You remember that? Yeah. Found that very interesting. 1 Corinthians 11:15, but that if a woman has long hair, is it her glory? For long hair is given to her as a covering.
Oh,
That's what it says.
interesting.
I don't know what that means. I just
I would
remember
like
it, so I
to-
just pulled it
I
up.
don't know what that
I don't
means
know
either.
what context that
yeah.
is. I have no idea.
That'd
So-
be cool to dive into, though. Like, I like just start looking into that too, because I mean, like, just
I have no hard beliefs one way or another about that. I just remember
Mhm.
it being a scripture, and I have no context around it. So I'm just saying. There's
Is
no
that
context.
crazy?
So there it is. Do with it as
Do
you
with it as
Yeah.
you will.
as you may. Yeah.
That's so crazy, but yeah, it's just it's a surreal experience. That's all I can say. But well, I'm sure there's other ways you can. There's other ways you can make yourself feel powerful or have that empowerment. But whatever reason that is just that thing that is almost so crazy that no one would do that. When I do it, it sets me so apart from everyone else that I love. Like I love when people are like, I could never do that, and I'm like, and that's why my hair looks really freaking fabulous now.
So you feel fabulous.
Yes, I do.
Good.
I love it. I feel spunky. I feel fabulous.
You do look spunky.
Thank you. It's almost like
Yes. Okay. I
It's-
was trying to figure it out. I'm like, there's something. Was a word I was looking
Mhm.
for, and I feel like this is more in the direction of your personality because it does. It
Aw.
looks spunky, and you're spunky.
That's and exactly. And when I was thinking back on it, like my long hair, and I love my long hair. It's always something I can always grow back. But when it's long, I can do that bun where it's sleek. You know, the business look, all of that. Well, I feel like I've been in that very sleek. You know, what's the word? Organized, like very. I guess strictness. I don't even know how I want to explain it, but I feel like I
What you're
put
saying.
myself in this very strict box of expectations.
Trying to
for
present
myself.
yourself the way you think a businesswoman should present herself.
Yes.
Mm.
Yes, exactly. I felt like I needed to present myself a certain way, and that was the sleek hair, the high heels, the kind of in your face, scary, put together girl.
Do you
not know that?
You mean the intimidated,
Like-
the intimidated,
Like the
Intimidating?
businesswoman that's got like the pencil skirt, like I don't know, just some cute top, but she always has like her hair back in like the sleek bun. And
The chignon.
who?
That's
what?
like a low, sleek bun. It's called a chignon.
Oh yeah,
Sorry.
but and so that's what I thought. And then I don't know if it
I
was
learned something.
going to seminar because we have our big annual seminar event with Mary Kay, and that is the one place I always see the most broad variety of people, not just women anymore, people like men, women, anyone, but it's the most broad, diverse group that I could ever explain. And it was almost like I could see everyone be so individual, and then I just felt like I felt boring. I'm like, I've looked like this for so long. I look like another white girl with blonde hair. Like I was like, I need to change something up. And I know that's not bad, but I needed something different, and I needed the fun. I needed the spunky, I think.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you were trying to conform to the image of someone else, or to the image that maybe someone else expected of you and not so much you? Maybe
Mhm.
is it possible that's why you felt kind of boring and like
Probably.
lackluster? You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably. Because I've kind of been in the same diverse group my whole life. I've went to Catholic school. Thank the Lord. We were able to go to Catholic school when we were younger because my mom taught at a Catholic school. But that was awesome too, because my mom was there the whole time. But yeah, we always had that same look, like the Catholic school uniform. Then you go to high school, Catholic school uniform. And then I went to a Catholic college. Like, that is a little more diverse, but it's not like going to a different, like at some other colleges. So I think once I got into this world, I really got to find like, and see firsthand that you can be unique, and you are unique, and you can be beautiful, and you don't have, like, you can look beautiful in your own unique way. And it may not look like someone else that you look up to.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the people I would look up to, like, I want to look like them. I want to act like them. Well, sometimes I'm not meant to look like them, but I am meant to act like them and continue that legacy like them. So it has been, I think I was definitely living a standard or an idea of an idea that I got from someone else that I put as a standard for me, that I needed to look like that to be successful. But that's not the case, because if I'm going to be successful, I'm going to be successful no matter what I look like.
That's true. But I like I like the concept of you cutting your hair and like getting spunky, as you say it, because even just as you say it, it sounds like Paige.
Oh,
it doesn't sound like Paige trying to be someone else.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not that I never had that thought before.
Yeah.
But as you've been talking about it, like, I wonder if that's really what was needed.
Probably.
To like step into that and own it.
Yeah.
And sometimes those changes or those shifts are needed to be able to actually move forward in something. Do you ever get stuck in like, here's a new thought, here's what I want to do, and yet I don't do it?
Yes.
I mean, Paul even talked about this. Like, the things I want to do, I don't do. The things I don't want to do, I do. Right? I get caught in that. And I think maybe this is at the core of what we're talking about today, because I think about just changing your environment so that you don't continue on the same cycle of doing the same thing, even though you want to do something else. Like, I know people who, when they feel like something needs to change, they will like rearrange their furniture in their home.
Okay, I would do that.
It's a very real thing. Like, I have a niece who does this. My mom was like this growing up.
Yeah.
I don't tend to be this way. Sometimes it's more like in my bedroom I'll do that. But sometimes like just things being set up differently feels so different because you're out of the norm. You know what I mean? You kind of take that comfort zone and you stretch it and you rearrange it a little bit.
Yeah.
But then those things that are in your mind that you've been working on, I feel like they have a place to land then, because it's not just landing on what's already been established. Now there's newness to land on. Does that make sense? Kind of?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think just that changing of environment, whether it is your bangs or it is rearranging furniture, or
for me, it's clothing.
Or clothing.
There are times when I just want to dump my closet out on the front lawn and burn it.
Oh, I understand.
And go shopping. I have about $300 worth of clothing in my Amazon cart right now.
Dude, you crack me up too, how you're always like, I just want to do this and I want to go burn it. Because I'm the same way. I'm like, I just want to get rid of it.
I want to get rid of it and I don't want to look back.
Yeah.
Because I will.
Yes. Exactly.
Like, well, maybe I'll, maybe, no, maybe. So I'll hold on to it. No, just burn it.
Oh, yeah.
That's hilarious.
I might regret it later, but I can't
not
change
that
it.
way.
Same. But yeah, continue on with, you were saying your clothing. That's a way that you...
Oh, yeah. I get sick of my clothes, like pretty... Like within like a few years, I'll cycle through my clothes and I'm like, I don't like any of this anymore. And I want to be the new person that I feel like I am. And I don't feel like the clothes I wore 6 months ago match who I am now.
That's fun.
Yeah. So it's a very
I totally
expensive.
Understand that. Yeah.
Not that I actually am able to change my wardrobe on them. I actually don't. So I just wear a lot of clothes that I don't like. And yeah,
that
right. It's the worst. First world problems. Okay.
But that's so true.
Sorry.
Dear. Let's just take a moment. We are very thankful
for
all the clothes we have.
I have a giant closet that is all mine. We have 2 walk-in closets in our bedroom, and it is one is mine, and it is full of clothing, plus a dresser. Like, I'm very blessed. I have to remind myself of that. Thank you, Paige. I went through, like, my biggest transitional moment was broken record when I became a mom. And I went through this. I feel like I went through a big shift and still am going through this big shift. I became a mom, so I quit my job. I wasn't dressing up anymore. I was just home all day, so I was wearing sweats and t-shirts. And during that span of time, styles changed, I changed, personality and my body type. And after I came out, or am starting to come out the other side, I don't know how to dress myself anymore.
Or maybe it's not that you don't know how, you just, what you're wearing, like you said, it doesn't make you feel good. You don't like it anymore.
Exactly. It doesn't match who I am. I'm trying to be more elevated and be who the person I am right now. But I still really want to be comfortable because I like being comfortable. I do.
Yes.
Like so I'm finding, me personally, I am loving the whole t-shirt and blazer thing.
Yeah.
I'm loving that. So I'm starting to rediscover my style. And trying to make it match who the kind of person I am now. And so it's a hard journey. So if any of you is a professional stylist and wants to help me out,
there's what's her name?
And not very expensive.
Miranda Raines. You should follow.
Yes,
I would say
you should follow her.
Shout out Miranda. We've learned so much from you.
Like, I need to follow her.
Have you ever considered maybe instead of just burning it all?
I know there's probably a healthier way to do it.
Like, what if you just rework it? So take what you have and put it together in a way you haven't before, in a way that feels more like you. And
yes, learning how to style clothes versus wearing them. There is a difference, apparently. And
there is a difference.
And that's what I need to learn.
And I think I second your shout out to the blazer. I think the blazer is such a versatile piece of piece of clothing. Just because, I mean, I like to travel with a blazer, so I will wear some decent looking, solid colored pants. Not jeans. I do a lot of really, really long travel, and so jeans aren't always the most comfortable thing.
Jeans are my number one go-to.
But even a pair of black leggings, a t-shirt that flows nicely, and a blazer. And I may not wear the blazer the whole time, but when I get off that plane, I put on the blazer, and all of a sudden I look like I'm put together.
Wow.
But it's amazing. Yes. It's an amazing, versatile piece of clothing. And if it gets too cold, you have a light jacket and those kinds of things.
Yeah.
If it gets, you can also take it off and be very casual again. And it just is. So it's such a good piece of clothing. I'm seconding your love of the blazer.
I feel like the blazer is a level up.
Really?
Yes, because I'm going to be honest, I don't feel like I'm on the blazer level yet. Not that I don't feel like I am, I just don't really care to wear the blazers right now. Maybe that's because I have the jacket. I'm more of a jacket girl or something like that. But
I do love a jacket.
But I'm you guys wear them and I love it. I love how good it looks. You can dress it up, you can dress it down, you can accent it, you can do whatever you need to with it. But maybe I just haven't found a good blazer either,
Maybe. Or maybe it's not you.
Yeah, or maybe it's not me.
I'm also 40 years old.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I was you guys are at different stages of life. So maybe it is a different level that I'll get to eventually. And I'm just not there yet, But it's cool because I get to see that's the style I like, or that's the style I like. I kind of shop on you guys right now.
Try it.
Because I like the way it looks. I just don't have one.
Find something on Temu that's super cheap. Something super. Not even Temu. I don't even know. Just somewhere where you don't have to spend a whole lot. Go to a thrift shop. Just try it.
Yeah. True. That's kind of fun to think about. What if we went on a thrift shop? What was it? Thrift shop dress up day.
Do not talk about thrift shop anymore. I've got that song stuck in my head.
I got this song.
It has been in my head.
Talking about popping tags.
Yeah. Got $20 in my pocket.
We're going to get pulled for that.
Oh, nugs. Sorry.
But the song was I just sang a little ditty earlier, and then now Lauren can't
It
get it
is
out of her
in
head.
my head.
That's so funny.
Oh my
I know.
gosh.
I'm like trying really hard not to sing it so we can air this episode.
Well, oops. But, what type of way do you feel like you like to get out with the old and in with the new?
First and foremost, I have to make the decision, and I have to be like aware that the old isn't serving me anymore. And I am not a burner, like, at all.
Oh,
I
yeah.
have blazers from 15 years ago, but I also am someone who when I buy something, like whether it's clothing or something for my home or whatever, I tend to look at it. You know how we talked about past, present, future people?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't tend to buy really trendy things because I'm like, I see this, I like it now. I can tell in 6 months I'm going to hate it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, it's
Because
cool for right
because you
now.
are a future thinker.
I am a future thinker. And so I tend to also, like with my clothes, I tend to buy what would be considered really classic pieces that kind of withstand the test of time.
Yes.
So they may go out of favor for a while, but I'll wind up pulling them back out because, hey, I have a new way to work this and I can like work it in this different way. And I really like being able to do that because I do find value in the old, especially if it's something that's quality and made well. This is a different episode for that. But anyway, I think it's things like that. But also there are things that I have to do physically. Like this month, our friend asked if anyone gets up at 6 a.m. and could help keep her accountable because she's going to wake up at 6 a.m. every day this month. And I was like, I don't, but I will. And so...
And that's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, I haven't. I used to, but I haven't lately. And I want to. I need to stop. I need to stop saying I need to.
Yeah.
Because that's another person. Like, I was telling Kim about this, or we were talking about this right before the show with Lauren too. The expectations, sorry, I don't want to get too off topic, of getting up early. And having an unset expectation on yourself, like Kim and I, for example, where we feel so guilty if we sleep in late because of this unset expectation that she, for example, said, I'm a mom. I'm supposed to be up early. I got my life together, you know, and I'm thinking in my head, I'm a small business owner. I'm doing this and I got to be up early because I got to have my life together because I'm young and people think I'm going to screw this up, you know, and just like stuff like that. But that's not that. That's just a learned expectation that we put on ourselves, you know?
Yeah.
So that was just to piggyback on that.
True. So, but this is what's been happening background for me. Probably the last month or two, I have really been like, I've had trouble sleeping at night. I don't know that I would call it anxiety necessarily, but it is like this itch for something new and things need to change and I've got to make a shift of some sort. I don't know if that ever happens to anybody else, but it is almost itchy. Like it just, there's an unrest, there's an unsettled feeling and it's like something needs to change. And I have been opting for my comfort zone and for staying, I guess, in the itch. Which is not really fun, but it was comfortable. And so just our friend proposing this and me being like, I want to support my friend. You know what? This also opens up a door for me to shift things because I haven't been getting up early. And so now I'm intentionally getting up early to help a friend stay accountable for getting up early. And Jason and I are going on morning walks before anybody else gets up. And that's like terrific. That feels like a really good shift.
Yes.
Because you know what? I took my phone this morning. He didn't even take his phone. I didn't ever pull out my phone. I just figure, you know,
just to have,
get hit by a car or something, whatever. Like, nice to have something. But it was like, wow, focused conversation without any kind of screen, having any kind of obligation, without having anyone else who needs our time or attention. And that feels like, I guess that scratched the itch, if I can put it that way. But really, it is like, I just need something to shift for me to usher in
Yes.
the new that I know needs to come. So it's all been kind of conceptualized in my mind. It's been birthed there, but now we've got to outwork it. And in order to do that, me personally, I have to step out of the routine and comfort because it's got to fit in somewhere. If I don't fit it in, it's never happening. That's for me. I bet there are people who are way better managed.
Actually, that's how I am at. I wonder if that's more normal than we think because it's so not common to get out of the comfort. It's so taught and trained to be, you're comfortable, you're fine, you're making a good income, you have a good job, you have a good wife, you have a good life. Why stretch for more? That's so normalized now that it probably is more common to feel like you have to completely change things up, like get up at 6 a.m., completely leave your phone, because also the top 1% in podcasts I've listened to, it's very common and a scientific fact. If you get up in the first 30 minutes to an hour, if you're not on your phone, you are more focused, you're more positive, you're more determined, like all of these things, because we've been so analyzed to just be on that screen. And the screens have completely messed up our minds and our bodies and everything. So that's probably why too, it just felt so good and completely fixed, scratched that itch right away, because not only did you change the circumstance, which I think is more common than we think, that there has to be a change, some kind of change, mentally and physically maybe, but the getting up at 6 a.m. I mean, you're not just getting up at the time you yourself feel is good, because you feel better when you get up early, but your significant other is too. And you're getting that quality time, and you have no distractions, and you're getting the fresh air. That's another good thing to get right in the morning. I think it's more common than we think to actually have to go outside of ourselves and completely flip the script and redesign what we do to move forward past all of that comfort zone, I guess.
Yeah. I heard this one quote. I cannot remember who it was, but it's like, change does not happen unless you change something you do every day.
Yes.
Like a habit. Like, you're not going to get to where you want to be unless you change a habit that you have daily.
Yes. And continue it for years and years and years.
Which I'm like, that's uncomfortable. But can I tell you something fun this morning?
Oh my gosh, yes.
On my way here, I don't know what it was, but maybe it's the blazer. I don't know. But I was in the car, our girl's in the back seat. On my way here, we're listening to Owl City. And I mean, CD that I listened to back in high school. But my girls love it. They were, one of my girls, she only wants to listen to girl singers.
Oh, yes.
And I'm like, that's it. She just loves girl power. And she loves it. Like, that is all she wants. But I really, I don't have, the only girl CDs, this is totally off topic, just saying, backstory. The only girl CDs I have in my car, yes, I still have CDs in my car from high school.
I'm watching DVDs right now on my TV.
It's like Paramore and Flyleaf. So I don't know if that's...
You need someone like Hannah Montana for him.
Funny.
But anyway, so these are the CDs that I have in my car. So I'm like, let's listen to Owl City. She's like, is it a girl? I'm like, no. But he writes music girls like. And so that okay. So anyway, they love Owl City. And we're just on our way here. I was singing along, and I felt more like myself than I had in a long time. And I just felt something different this morning. I'm like,
you did put on a different outfit.
I feel like I'm putting in, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Oh, maybe it's the blazer. I don't know. And I have more jewelry on. I have my hair pulled back. It's just, I'm doing something different, although while still staying true to my jeans and t-shirtness.
Yeah.
But it was just so interesting. Just on my way here, I was aware of it. I was driving and thinking I felt more like myself I have in a long time. Or even if I don't feel like the old me, but I felt like I'm discovering the new me.
Yes.
And so I feel like this is going to be the year that I come into myself that I've lost over the last few years.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm excited about that.
I love it. That's awesome.
I do too. I like that because
I'll keep wearing blazers.
Keep wearing blazers. But even you saying like that you had that just kind of laying out that was something you would have never paired together too, like the t-shirt and that
Yeah, they were
blazer.
just laid across the chair that tends to collect clothing throughout the week. They just happened to be laying together. And I'm like, these two colors, let's try it.
But so it's kind of like what you were saying, Kim, like it was still the same clothes, but same clothes, but new arrangement. Mm-hmm. And so maybe that happened and, that created that physical change, which you didn't even realize at the time. Mm-hmm. But now it's like, then you had the emotional change too, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. I feel like I had that moment too when I was, after cutting my hair and like, I always trim it up like the whole next day. Now I found that out because it takes a while to kind of even it out when you're by yourself. But I couldn't stop looking at myself in the mirror. Because I loved how it looked. And it was like, I loved it. But then I even noticed when I stepped out to go to one of our meetings this week, I instantly, after I left the house, like started, like I was like, I hope this looks good. Like I have blah, 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 blah. But I had that feeling in the moment that I can always go back to. Like, no, I love it. It does not matter what anyone else says. Mm-hmm. And kind of just that empowering moment of and that's what everyone just keeps saying is like, it's different. It's different. I haven't really had a lot of people say it's cute. A couple people have said it's cute, but it's like, I like hearing the different because I feel like everyone sees different, but I see different that feels more like me.
Yeah.
And I feel more like me than I've felt like in months. So it's like, well, people will get used to it, but this is like the way I feel, it doesn't mask anything, So I don't even really care what people have to say, but but that kind of same feelings and same perspective.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's good. You know what I'm reminded of is this was way back when I got baptized. And there was a whole this phrase that was always surrounding it. It's an outward sign of an inward change, right? Mm. Like that's what at least the church I was at when I was getting baptized would say about baptism and why it's important to do it and all of these things. But I keep thinking that with what we're talking about today, out with the old, in with the new, and some of these physical shifts, I kind of see it the same. It's like this outward sign of this inward change, right? And I think we probably go through this more than we think we do, or more than we even realize. It's just that when it compounds, it's like when it's about to boil over is when you actually have to okay, I got to change something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You
know what I mean? Like when it can't all be contained here anymore. That burning, man. You guys.
I've not actually done that. But that is like the desire within me. If I've not actually done that.
That is so funny. I am so not a burner. I am like burning bridges, never. I always want a path back to where I was. I'm like,
really?
Always.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a safety net. It is, there's something about connection and honor that lies really heavy in me. And there's some of that just because, even if it's like, okay, even if there's someone I disagree with and we decide to go our separate ways. Oh, I'm divorced. Here's a good example.
So sorry. That just made me giggle.
Okay, I am remarried as well, but I was married before, and my ex-husband and I have a great relationship. Mm-hmm. But there was never an intention of like burning that to the ground. Of like, well, I know we spent the last 15 years together, but screw you. I'm never coming back. I'm not going to look back. I hope you XYZ. Never. I could never.
Wow.
And that is an extreme example. But just because we're going different directions and like the relationship didn't work out, I suppose I just tend to be someone who, like, I want to bless you and going the other direction. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then if there's ever anything that brings us back together, then we don't have to try to rebuild from like the ashes. Mm-hmm. Like maybe we can just flip a switch and be friends again.
No, I was talking about clothes, not people. So
I know, but I think it's the same way. I'm the same way. Yeah. No, I told you I keep things in my wardrobe for years and years. Mm-hmm. What did I have? I just finally replaced my black sneakers, like my athletic shoes. What do you call them? Do you call them tennis shoes? Do you call them sneakers? Do you call them trainers?
Tennis shoes.
Tennis shoes. I think that's a regional thing. I don't ever. Okay, those things that you work out in, those kinds of shoes.
Yeah.
I just recently, I've had some for 17 years, and I love them, and they still look new. I use them all the time, but I just also am somebody who really tries to take care of things. But now all of the insole is worn out.
Yep.
And it's sewn in, so there's no replacing it. And I'm like, I guess it's time to get a new pair of shoes. But they just worked so well.
That's so true. Okay, I'm that way with shoes for sure. It's hard for me to get rid of shoes.
But I'm just saying there are things like that it's no, I will keep something and I will utilize it to the best of my ability for as long as I can. Even if I feel like it's gone out of style, I may just box it up and I'll come back to it later.
I think that goes back to your future thinker.
I was just thinking that too.
There may be a use for this later.
Yeah. Because you sound exactly like my husband right now.
Really?
He takes care of stuff so well. And me, I'm like, I just want to use it right now.
Yeah, now thinker.
Because I'm a now thinker. This is so fun.
It's epiphanies. It's happening. Maybe. I think that probably is.
And you're a future thinker, so you want to take care of things to keep using it in the future.
I want it to last.
And I want to use it to its fullest potential right now.
That's hilarious. Okay, let me ask you this, because this is something that my husband and I have talked about. What do you do if you get a super special treat that could potentially last for a while, but could also potentially be consumed in one sitting? Are you yes, all of it now? Or are you savor it and make it last?
Depends on how frequently I have it. If it's something that I may not have a while, I can get this not very often.
That's what I would say. Something super special, out of the ordinary.
It takes all the willpower in my body. But I will try to save some of it and make it last for at least another day or two.
Same.
But it takes all the power within me.
Yeah. That's so funny. I never realized.
And then once I get going and I'm like, nah, just eat it now.
How's your husband with that?
No, he's good he has way more self-control than I do.
That's so funny. I am a saver. This is a good example. And this is something that my husband and I ran into shortly after we got married. So for Valentine's Day, my dad would always get me a really nice box of chocolates. And it's this brand that is stupid expensive. And it has 36 pieces in it. And he's done this since we were a kid, young teenagers. Yeah. And even then, I'm like, this is so special. I would eat one a day. I take small bites. I'm picking up every nuance of it. I'm savoring every little morsel. And then the next day I will choose another and I will do the same. And the first year we were married, my dad got me these chocolates and I had one the first day because this is how I do it. My husband ate all the rest of them because he thought I didn't want them. And I was like, what?
I had 36 days and it's just gone in one bite one day.
And he's like, what? You weren't eating them? I was like, I was savoring them.
See, there is no joke.
That's
There
so
is
funny.
a Kit Kat that has been sitting on our counter that has been sitting there for days because it's Mitchell's and I think he's going to eat it. And the only reason I haven't eaten it yet is because Mitchell and I have had that realization about each other. And he doesn't just go for it. Yeah. So I'm like, as soon as I eat it, he's going to come home and be like, where's my Kit Kat?
I think I vary. I think I'm in between both because I'm a very future and present thinker. So, because I vary. Because I know there's times like that where I'll save energy drinks, I'll save stuff. And Zachary's a very quick, he wants it now. He's like, I want it now and I want it all now. And he'll ask me, he's like,
now
how long are you going to let
it,
those
so
leftovers sit in there?
now.
How long are you going to let the energy drink sit in there? Because he's like, because I want it.
That's so funny.
I was like, now is when I want it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to eat it now.
Yeah.
That's so funny because I absolutely am thinking about the future. I'm like, I'm not going to eat all of this now because tomorrow I will want, even with leftovers, whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
and then I got leftovers
like
for this day and this
yeah,
day.
I like this well enough that I want to eat it this time and this time and this time. I'll portion it like accordingly. And then if somebody comes in and like eats it, then it's just ruined my plan.
Oh, yeah. That's the whole thing.
And there's my not nice part of me. I'm like, you have ruined all that I have planned for this. It's not the best part of me. It's not. I love it, but it's
you're
real.
aware. You're working. Maybe
I'm working on it. Yeah. I have worked on it. It still happens internally. Like, you know, sometimes when you find like, oh, that last piece of chocolate cake that you were going to have, right, is like gone. I can now close the fridge and go, as opposed to, I love my chocolate cake or whatever.
That's a whole new change. Like,
okay, that happened. Let's adjust. That's what's really going through my mind.
Literally, yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that happens to me very frequently. But then at the same time, I have my moments where I'm a present thinker and I'm like, I want it.
Oh, that's not to say I never hold on to things, you know.
Yeah.
Sure.
But it's usually because I ate so much of it. I'm full now, so I'm going to save it.
That
I'll have the rest
so
later.
Funny.
I will have the rest later.
Oh my gosh.
That's hilarious. Okay, so also, I have to give all of my examples are round sweets. So
round sweets.
That's
judge
where my
me
brain
as
is.
you will. My aunt was here last month, and she went to a local bakery that we love. And she called and was like, "Oh, can I get anything for you guys? I'm here." And I was like, "Yeah, just get us a blondie." And she's like a singular blondie? I was like, "Yes, a singular blondie." And mind you, this is years after the whole chocolate ordeal, right? Okay. And she's like, "Are you sure just one?" I was like, "Yes, the four of us, being my husband, myself, my son, and my daughter, 18-year-old son, and my daughter, we'll just eat on it for the next week or so."
Oh my gosh.
And she's like, "What are you trying to say to me?" And I'm like, "No, I know you think it's not going to be enough, but this is how we do it."
But this is how we do it.
This is how we do it. And especially with this, because it's really rich. So it's like you take a little pinch off of it and it's like enough. I know it sounds crazy. I see your face. And you think it sounds crazy. But Jason's like this too. My husband's even like this too. And he's the one who's like, well, you weren't eating all the chocolates. I'll eat them. Mm-hmm. This is why I say, mind you, this was a while ago. But we're kind of all on the same page with it. Probably we could sit down and eat it all, but it would just be too much. Like too much is too much. You know what I mean? And so like having a little nibble every now and then is like far more satisfying at this point for me than over consuming. And then I wind up feeling horrible and then I don't ever want it again. Do you know what I mean? That's how my brain works behind it. Yeah. But yeah, my aunt was just like mind blown. She's like one blondie singular. For all four. Yes, you've got it.
You've got it.
Oh my goodness. But also if you live in Wichita, it's Frost, and they make the best baked goods. I just have to tell you, they have a chocolate cake that is iconic. I never get it because I love their blondies.
What is it? Where is it?
It's in College Hill.
What's it called again?
Frost.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. It's. I'm just telling you. You live here. Probably some of our listeners live here. Mm-hmm. Frost. They're amazing.
Amazing.
I'm writing this down.
That's so funny. Notes from today's episode. Go to Frost.
Go to Frost. Well, do you guys have any other points you wanted to hit before we sign off for the day?
I don't think so. I feel like we kind of scattered the end of this a little bit, but thanks for being along on the journey.
Hey, now you know all about these blondies
and the future present. Thinking,
yes.
I didn't. I never made that connection.
No,
before.
I was starting to make it now. Yeah.
I know.
It
I
all
was
starts to
trying
connect,
to make just like a
dude.
small detour, but it didn't work.
No.
It
You
all-
led us there, and we are there
It
now.
all connects though, and I
I
like
love
how
it.
we don't even literally we show up and we're like, all right, what are we talking about? And we just start spitting out stuff, and somehow the last like 4 episodes have connected, and we're like, how is this happening?
I love it.
Thank you guys for staying tuned and watching with us and following along. We'll see you guys next time.
See ya.
That's it for today. Thanks for listening. Keep up with us on this unmasking journey by joining us every Friday.
Like, subscribe, and follow us on Instagram. This episode is sponsored by Podcast Solutions and podcasttables.shop.
As always, we're glad you're here. See you next week.
Boom, done.